Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Indiana Jones. Today I'm super excited because I get to do some shabby chic vintage Victorian Valentine's Day DIYs and share them with you and some of my very sweet special friends. So if you're ready to get crafty, let's get started. I'm joining my wonderful friends for this Shabby Chic Valentine's collaboration hosted by Jody at Southern Seasons, and I'm joined by Becky of Kind of Shabby and Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling. Please visit their channels. We all love shabby chic, and we've come together to bring some beautiful Valentine's DIYs just for you. Today my theme is everything hearts, because I decided, well, since it's Valentine's Day, let me give you some wonderful ideas of different heart decors that you can include in your home decor for Valentine's Day. Now, I had this Wi-Fi sign that, well, Wi-Fi, sweet Wi-Fi, and I actually bought a whole bunch of these at the Dollar Tree, possibly like 3 or 4, because I thought I would include them in my Queen of Hearts decorations, but I didn't, but now I can use them for Valentine's Day. So as you saw there, I just poured some Mod Podge on, and all I'm going to do is decoupage this heart. I was going to try to take off that paper that's on top, but since I am going to be placing another paper, I didn't think it was worth all that trouble. So here I am just going to decoupage this paper. Now usually I wait till the decoupage gets dry, just a little bit dry, as you saw there. It wasn't drippy wet. And the reason I do that is when you're decoupaging with paper, it's best that it's just a little tacky, and if you can, use an iron just to reactivate the glove, that eliminates all of the wrinkles. I have not had any problems with any kind of wrinkles ever since I started using this technique. Now I cut off the excess, and of course I sanded down the edges, and I sanded the paper down a little bit as well. Now I created this beautiful design in my shabby chic floral tutorial, but I'm going to show you just a little bit of what I did. All I am using here is just some cotton that I had ripped, and I created a little circular rose with that cotton, just with that little strip of cotton, and then I'm just adding some very large lace to the back of it, as you see there, and then to the middle I'm going to use a totally dazzled a little pin or a little earring or a button. And there you have it. So that's what I decided to decorate this cute little heart with. I could have just left the heart as it was, but since this is shabby chic, I have to add a little bit of lace, a little bit of ribbon, and just a little touch of bling just to make it perfectly shabby chic. Now, I added some ribbon instead of the jute twine it had before, and we're done. For this next project, I used this Dollar Tree wreath form, the heart wreath form from Dollar Tree, and I actually cut it apart into 3 different sections. So this is the larger heart that's on the outside, and all I did was cover it with twine so it had something to attach to. Now, I just ripped a bunch of fabric and created all of these little rags and just tied them one by one. And here is the completed wreath, and all I'm going to do is add the embellishments. Now you can see I added some lace of different colors, I added some plain burlap, and different fabrics that more or less had the same coloring as the fabric that I used as the primary one. Now I could have done this all white, all pink, whatever you choose. Now I added the bow, and it's just grosgrain ribbon. And I just made a simple bow because I knew I wanted to add some flowers. So filling in for those same colors that you see in that fabric. There's some pinks, there are some deep reds, and some blues. So these are the flowers that I'm going to be adding to this little bow to make it complete. Now, obviously, this will have to be a wreath that you use on your inside of your house. You couldn't use this on your front door, maybe on the inside of your front door, just because it's not weatherproof, obviously. But this is just darling, especially for your bedroom door or just for a wall decor or even for your bathroom. This will look adorable if you match it to the rest of the decor in your bathroom. So I hope you try this out for yourselves. Now, I'm not sure if this is considered shabby chic or vintage or Victorian. Either way, I think it's absolutely lovely, and I hope you think the same. First, I'm going to start out with one of these little plastic candy heart-shaped boxes that you can get at Dollar Tree filled with candy or the empty ones. Now, what I did is I primed it first with a little bit of paint and together with some Mod Podge, and then I painted it silver, and now I'm adding some Mod Podge and slowly adding little bits of silver on the edges. I wanted to make sure that it was a nice silvery edge on the edge. Does that make sense? Just so that it would look like kind of sparkly and almost like metal. I wanted to make sure that the sides almost look like metal, because what I'm going to do here is a little jewelry collage. I'm sure you've seen this on Pinterest and maybe even at some antique stores, but I always love the idea of using some broken vintage jewelry. And I stress broken vintage jewelry that you might just have hanging around the house, or just some old jewelry of maybe your grandmother or your mom that really doesn't have any value because it's falling apart, and putting it together in something that you can really commemorate them with. Not that, discarded jewelry doesn't have value, because it's funny because I was looking through the jewelry. I have all these old jewelry pieces and even some like trim and stuff, and I was thinking, my goodness, here's some like broken down jewelry that goodness knows how long somebody saved up to buy themselves this particular piece of jewelry, and it's just sitting as part of garbage. That's why I was very happy to put this together. And some of the jewelry I actually had to repair, like this little one here. Now I tried to find out of all the jewelry that I have, I look and look for any kind of markings to make sure that it's not like silver or platinum or gold or anything like that. And of the ones that I just find that they're missing jewels or gems, like this one, I decided to put some pearls in it. That's it. I'm basically repairing it to use it in some fun way. So again, if you have any broken jewelry, or you have earring sets that are missing earrings, or you have a box of even buttons and just like I said, broken jewelry that your mom has handed down to you and you don't know what to do, or you found one of those big vases of broken jewelry at Goodwill for like $10, buy it and make something like this, because again, I've seen this all over Pinterest and they are pretty pricey from what I can see. So this was a broken down pin. I had to replace a lot of little pearls that you see there, and it just fits so perfectly. I don't know, I think this one was my very favorite project of the day or craft of the day, simply because it really did take a lot of thought, and I was finally able to use all the jewelry that I've been stashing away, thinking, I'm gonna make something special out of this. Well, now is the time to make something special. Don't hold out and don't hoard your craft hoard. Keep thinking, I'm gonna use this for this, just use it, because if not, it's just sitting in a drawer and just rotting away practically without being admired. So this way I know that all of this old jewelry will be admired, and I don't know, I think it'll be very sweet to have this in my Valentine's and my everyday shabby chic decor. I'm going to keep my eyes out for more of those little bags of just that fashion fun jewelry, the fake jewelry that you can get at Goodwill, and sometimes they have them at thrift stores. I've seen them at thrift stores. I think this was from a thrift store when I visited in Tallahassee back in the summer. So find those bags and purchase them so you can build a little heart, or you can also use this for Christmas trees. It's the same concept, and I've seen it used for Christmas trees or even for an Easter egg. There's so many things you can do with broken jewelry, and instead of filling the landfills, you're filling your heart with inspiration and something that gives you joy when you take a look at it. And this definitely gives me a lot of joy. So for many people, they would probably think, well, Annie, why are you gluing with hot glue? Well, I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's easier, number one, because it glues right away. But if you want this to be absolutely permanent, you have to use E6000 or that, glue cement, something like that. Because with the hot glue, it'll hold it, but I don't know if it'll be there for fun. Okay, let's go back to that frame. I didn't explain. This frame came from the Dollar Tree. It has a little chalkboard, and I was trying to do something interesting for the backdrop. I thought maybe the checkered black and white paper would look cool, and then I tried this, and that didn't look cool. And that's what I'm telling you. Give yourself some grace. Everybody makes mistakes. You can always try again. This is all for fun, so don't be so critical of yourself. So I erased, as you can see, I erased everything I painted, and I put it aside. You know, sometimes you just got to put it aside. So I put it aside and I said, let me think of something else. Then I took this like bronzy color, this paint from Plaid, the family of products for paints. So this is folk art, and it's like this chocolate gold, and I just thought it aged. Now you can use, you know, wax, you can use antique wax, but I just like that chocolate gold. It kind of, you know, antiqued that frame so it wouldn't be that bright gold. Now I used that same paint to paint on the chalkboard, and it gave it kind of a metal kind of look. Now, how do you glue the heart onto the chalkboard? Well, let me tell you. I used one of my leftover hearts from my decorating of the Queen of Hearts room, and I had this little styrofoam heart, and it was just the right size, the right depth, I guess, or the right width, and it's a heart within a heart. Isn't that cool? So this is what's going to help me glue that to my little frame. So there I have it. There I go. And all I have to do is glue it onto that little chalkboard. And it is a little heavy because that one pin with the bow is pretty hefty, but it'll hold, especially, you know, if I use my hot glue and just glue it on. I can add a little bit of E6000 to be absolutely sure, but I think the hot glue will hold it in place. So I was very lucky to have that little heart because I didn't know how else. I didn't want to glue it on just the edges on the outside. So all I'm doing now is attaching it to the chalkboard, and I had this little crown also left over from my Alice in Wonderland Queen of Hearts Christmas tree, and I'm going to add it right to the top, and there you have it. I think this is adorable, and what a lovely way to commemorate someone if you have someone's, you know, heirloom jewelry or just fashion jewelry that they've given to you. Okay, this next one is something completely out of the blue. Out of the box, you know me. I'm using this beautiful Dynaflex caulking. It's silicone caulking. It's white. I am coloring it pink. And this is what I use for faux foods and faux frosting. It's better than actual caulking from the Dollar Tree. And what I decided to do is I had gotten this cute little purse from Temu. It was like $5. And I said, you know, I want to make it cute and funky, so I decided to make it look like a cake, and therefore I am using the silicone frosting. I filled my piping bag like you would any regular frosting with a tip. I think it's the star tip, and I just started frosting away. And I had so much fun with this. It's really cute. It sets within an hour to 2 hours, but I let it set overnight, and it is stuck. It is on there. Those little stars, little frosting stars, are not going to fall off my purse. It's waterproof. It's fun. It's funky, and I just had to share it with you because I will be wearing this on Valentine's Day, which I believe is on a Tuesday this year or Thursday. It's during the week. But I had a lot of fun making this, and I just wanted to share with you just in case you have an opportunity to upgrade a purse and make it look like a cake or ice cream or anything else you like, or candy. Use a silicone frosting idea and not the caulking, because it will crack and fall off, but the silicone will definitely work and stay on for a while. Now I have to come up with other cute Valentine's Day accessories to wear with my cute little purse. So keep your eyes open for maybe a headband or maybe a fascinator. Who knows? But definitely will be cute with this little purse. Now from my stash, I picked out this little galvanized heart, which is from the Dollar Tree. And I had bought this Timholtz bag of little faces that I got, and I believe the bag was $1.62, which if you know Timholtz, you know that's a steal. So now I had to pair up. I love this young woman. She looks like something from the Gilded Age, and I needed to find her a suitable mate. And I had this older gentleman with that lovely mustache, but I just thought he was like too old. I don't know. They were all too old. And then I found this young man with these beautiful bright blue eyes, and I thought they made a nice little couple. And, you know, when I'm making these things, I wonder, like, these were real people. Do they know their photos are just flying around in craft world? Who knows? I also had this wonderful package of beautiful shabby chic inspired papers. And again, I got that from Temu and I just love the colors. So I thought this would be a perfect little marriage, you can say, with this paper and the galvanized heart. So all I'm doing is cutting out the heart shape, very easy, and decoupaging it into the galvanized heart to serve as a backdrop for my little assemblage. I guess this is called an assemblage, correct? Now, one tip I would say is I try to match the color of the paper to this paint so that if I miss any, if I cut it too small and there are any gaps, you won't really notice it because you have the little paint there. And I could have done the inside edges, but I like the galvanized look. Maybe I should have rusted it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and fix it up. But for now, I just wanted to keep the silver galvanized look. In my stash, I also had these tiny mini little doilies, and I thought they were so adorable, so I wanted to put it in the backdrop. But in the end, obviously you won't actually even see the doily, but I know it's there. I think that's all that matters. But sometimes you start making these assemblages or collages or whatever you want to call it, and yeah, sometimes some things that you take the time to place sometimes get hidden by the stuff you place on top. But it's okay, as long as you're having fun. I think it's wonderful. So again, just decoupaging that in with some Mod Podge. And now I'm going to start putting in this couple. Isn't this going to be cute? I like him. He looks so distinguished with his little mustache. I wonder, did he try to grow this mustache to impress this lovely woman? And she has the sweetest little face with her cute little flowers on the side. And I kind of feel upset because when I finished this whole collage, I actually hid those little flowers she had on one shoulder, and I think they look so lovely. So again, when I'm doing these assemblages, I love to give it a little bit of depth. So I am going to not put them directly on the paper, but before that I found these wonderful stickers. These are from the Dollar Tree, and they come with those little signs that say cherish and love and all that stuff. So I thought, oh, this is perfect to include in my little heart. So I'm including that first, and then I'm going to add the distinguished gentleman. To make sure he's not sitting directly on the paper, I'm using these coffee stir sticks that I just pick up here and there and a little bit everywhere, and just include it to the back. So I put 2 stir sticks together to give a little more depth, but I wanted him to be right behind the young lady, so I didn't want him to be too high up. And just gluing him in with my hot glue. And of course, adding a few more little flowers. Now, I had this collection of flowers as well that I also bought on clearance a long time ago. I think even last year. I'm cleaning, okay? I'm finding things, people. It's amazing the things you find when you clean your craft room. Yes. And we have little kitties here meowing. I think before we put these two people together, because they're complete strangers, I need to introduce them. So, Madam, may I please introduce you to this young gentleman, Mr. Thomas Jones of the American Joneses, and this is Lady Cobblestone. I don't know. What do you call it? A nice like English lady. What would you call her? Lady Mary. Lady Rose. That's it. Lady Rose. I think that they'll make a lovely couple, don't you? I think they're absolutely lovely. Lord knows. Again, I always wonder who these people are, but they do make a very pretty couple. I think they'll be very, very happy. Thank you. I'm a matchmaker now. Thank you very much. Not only a crafter, but matchmaker. Come on, send me your pictures. Let me see who I can pair you up with. Anyway, here, let me add some more embellishments. I have these wonderful embellishments from the Dollar Tree, and wouldn't you know it, those stickers don't come together so you can move them around. Now, I love this love thing, but I didn't know where to put it. And then I found a cat in the middle of my, excuse us. Okay, thank you. Anyway, cat coming through. Anyway, I just added that beautiful love sticker to those flowers once again from my collection. And once again, I'm using my glue stick idea. I've seen this before, but all you do is cut a glue stick, and that is what gives you depth, and that's what you can elevate. items. That's what I used behind the lovely young lady. And I think this looks so pretty, so Victorian. I don't know if it's shabby chic, but I like it. I'm so happy with this. And I am so happy. I did add some pearls on the edges afterwards, but let's look at everything all together. Thanks again to my lovely friends Jody at Southern Seasons, Becky at Kind of Shabby, and Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling. I love working together with them because they truly are very sweet, wonderful friends. Please check out their channels and all the beautiful shabby chic ideas they have for you. Thank you again so much for stopping by, and I hope that you are inspired. If so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe so you'll be notified of my next crafting adventure. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure, and I will see you again very, very soon.